Check 1, 2.
Say it again.
Coming live to you from Robo Studio.
All right.
Got my boy on the set, Jimmy Lee.
All right. All right. 4, 3, 2.
Hi, I'm Link Edge, and I'm here with Pastor, police officer, songwriter, entertainer, Mr. Billy D. Reed.
God bless you.
How you doing there today, Mr. Reed?
Great, we're great. Glad to be here.
I'll get right into it. Where did you come from? Can you give me a little background about you?
Well, I'm originally from Indianola, Mississippi. Come from a very large family, Christian background. My dad was a Baptist minister, come from a whole host of Baptist ministers, and always had a passion for music. Always had a desire to try to do what's right, you know. But the thing is, I really just most recently had a drive to introduce my very first solo project, and I think I went to the right people to try to get that done.
Okay, and so tell me a little more about how you got into law enforcement and your music career, that is.
Well, law enforcement came shortly after I attended Mississippi Valley State University. During my junior year, I lost my mom, and the very next year I got married, and the young lady that I was married to at the time was a young lady that pretty much introduced me to law enforcement. And thank God I've been around ever since for the last 20 years.
20 years, wow, my God, that's a long, long time.
Yeah.
So, could you elaborate a little bit for me on about your music career and how did you get started? You come from a big family of musicians and.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Musicians, preachers, deacons, and just basically grew up in church and always singing with the family, and God blessed me to be introduced to all the strong and pro gospel singers, and it went from there, and I went from there to the fantastic violinists, Johnny Delaney, and many other various artists from this area. And I was just happy to get the experience, and even though a lot of the things that I was introduced as far as music-wise, it was somewhat traditional to this area, I thank God because He allowed them to, to tour and go out on the road, and that's when I, became introduced to other styles of music. And so, I mean, I'm just trying to do my own thing from a long compilation of putting all of it together. So I was just ready to go and step out and do my own.
So when did that come? When did that just hit you? Say, hey, I can sing.
Did it
take
really,
other people, telling you, or?
Not really. I was always trying to sing. I was always playing. I was always doing my thing. But along the way, things kind of like develop, and that comes a time when God just bring you and tell you, okay, it's your time. And that's basically what I felt. It was my time. It was my season to step out and get out of my comfort zone from doing background and playing bass for other people, and it was just my time to try to, you know, bring it to the forefront. And that's exactly what I did, you know. And I tell you, God is really blessed, and I'm so happy to have a very dear friend of mine, a young man that helped me put it all together. I just brought it to him and said, hey, this is my dream, this is my project, this is my vision. I need some help with it, Jimmy. And man, fabulous musician, fabulous guy. He took my project, helped me put it together. That's what we got, based on praise.
Based on praise. Speaking of, so I heard you say earlier that you were playing in the background, so you're playing the instruments?
Yeah, I play the bass. I play a 6-string bass guitar, and I basically came to him with a format for each song, a background for each song, and I told him, I said, Jimmy, I said, I need your help. And he came in and he did everything. Like I said, he did background vocals, he did drums, percussion, organ, keyboards. He just put colors all around it, you know. It's like bringing a child to him, and he was like a surrogate father. He put it all together, and I just thank God for it. And, you know, it made it even just that much special because we're homeboys, you know.
Okay.
Music majors and alumni of this university. So that's what it's all about, just trying to put Valley out there, let them know that, hey, we're doing things here.
And you said, once again, the name of that album is Based on Praise.
Based on praise.
What would you say is your track that you're most fond of?
Golly, I really like each track because each track signaturized a period in time of my life when I was going through whatever. But the most fun track will probably be Hold On, you know, because it's amazing to see when I bring a bass line to Jimmy and a hook or background to him. It's always something. It's like fishing in the ocean. You know, you really don't. I never really know what he gonna do with it. You know, so that's probably my most favorite. Hold On and Free Indeed.
Free Indeed. Okay.
Yeah. See what he did to those two tracks, man. Was just, I mean, it was just off the chain. It was really incredible.
And we got Mr. Jimmy Lee here
Yeah,
as well.
my homeboy, speak up.
Hey, how we doing today, Mr. Jimmy Lee?
Good. Thanks
Give
for
me a
having
little bit of insight on, how you put this thing together, and what does this project mean to you?
Well, for me, just like Billy was saying, he came to me. I love music, so I try to, allow, while I was doing it. But I like to, just kind of listen and see how I'm being led. And from that, I just tried some things, and I was like, okay, this seems like it. It's trial and error. But eventually we got something that he liked, and I felt really good and honored that he wouldn't even allow me.
Not to mention a few times he just like, I was like, Jimmy, golly, that's on the chain, man. As a matter of fact, it was a few places in there I had to tell him, I said, Jimmy, that's enough. Because he was killing.
I'm about perfection, and with that being
really
said, I think I hear a little something different that time, and I'd be like, well, I think I could do a better job. And so, even though Billy Reed was like, oh man, that's it, I'm like, no, I think I could do a little bit better. So
He was like, no, that's enough. We shutting down. That's it. Good night.
That's producing. That's all it is. At some point you got to realize, like, this is it has peaked. And you have to let it go. But it's been fun, as y'all can see, and I just thank God for allowing Billy to even allow me to work on this project. So thanks.
So what track do you like the most?
Man, I would have to say Free Indeed is a really good track. I like the message behind it as well.
You like where
just talking
there
about
too. That's a project he wouldn't let me.
That's it.
That's a song
Where
he
you
would
there.
not let me finish working on.
It sounded really good, and I just didn't want it to lose how pure it was. A lot of time in the music industry, we can just add so many different colors that you just kind of lose, some of the essence of just it being just purely great, So that's all it was.
Okay, so I'm taking it, Mr. Jimmy Lee. You can play amount of land and TV land to know about you, Mr. Reed.
Most definitely, I just like to give, first of all, utmost praise to God. I'd like to thank my church, my Love Feast Missionary Baptist Church. I'd like to thank my family. Most of all, I'd like to just thank Jimmy, you know, because he helped put it. He really did help put it all together. And y'all be on the lookout because we got some more coming. Just like in our last interview with Mr. Darren Carwin, your other radio announcer. He told me, he said, look, he said, just bring all your other projects and we're going to put them on the air. So, you know what? It's just like a river. Once it starts flowing, you're just going to let it flow. Also be on the lookout for a lot of other projects. I know Jimmy you might want to mention, you got like several projects. I know at least 6. So, in mind.
Heavenly minded. I ain't really want to get too far off. It's about Billy today. But, you know, we're doing some great things, and I just want to, you know, thank God as well. Thank Dr. Sanders and, you know, Dr. Oliver, Miss Young for just allowing me the opportunity to even, you know, be in, you know, the studio with things like that, because that's what I love to do. It's not everyone that can say that, you know, they wake up every morning and able to do something that they love. So it's a blessing just to be able to, you know, be here at Mississippi Valley State in the studio, you know, every day. So I just thank God for just that, and thank you all for, you know, having me. It's been fun.
Okay, no problem.
Hey, let me give a shout out to MVSU Police Department Chief Sanders, Captain Mars, and the rest of the fleet. I'm 10-8.
Also, I want to ask you also, you know, a lot of students around here on campus, they know you, but they don't quite know your name per se.
Yeah, they know me. They call me RoboCop.
Right.
It don't matter. Hey, it's Robo, any way you want to call it. Robo Studio. We put it down. We're doing gospel. Yeah, by the way, look me up on YouTube. Billy D. Reed, YouTube. Leave me a message. Tell me what you think.
And Mr. Jimmy Lee, you have worked with the students here. I know Rex spent quite a bit of time over there in the studio and trying to get things going and so what. And this is my first opportunity getting to, you know, to meet you, to see you in person, because I always heard about this Jimmy Lee. And I thought another guy was Jimmy Lee, but now I got your face.
My homeboy.
So. Once again, thank you, Mr. Jimmy Lee, for coming through.
Man,
and thank you to Mr. Billy D. Reed.
Like, have I ever wrote your ticket?
No, sir.
Good.
Thank you, Mr. Billy D. Reed. I'm Link Edgy for WVSD Entertainment News, and back to my host.